Hello and welcome to HCS Connects. I'm Kelly Gorel with Hampton City Schools. Today we have Dr. Kate Maxlow with us, who is our Director of Curriculum, Instruction, and Assessment. And we're excited to talk about what's going on with our students, something you probably wouldn't expect in Hampton City Schools or any public school system. So Dr. Maxlow, welcome to HCS Connects.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, we're excited to have you here today. You are new in the role of the Director of Curriculum, Instruction, and Assessment, coming from the Innovation and Professional Learning Department.
Yep, that is correct.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
But we're really not here to talk about you or to talk about really what your new role is.
Right.
We're here to talk about something special that's going on in Hampton City Schools that people just might not know about. So tell us about this Next Generation Storytellers. What is this?
Next Generation Storytellers is a program where we are bringing Hollywood to Hampton. So we work with our young people in the academies at the high school level to help them write, produce, direct, act in, and then edit short films in a completely professional style, just like you would get in Hollywood.
So you said we're bringing Hollywood to Hampton. You're talking about the real Hollywood, you know, the Hollywood sign up on the hill on the West Coast. Like, we're bringing Hollywood here to Hampton.
Exactly. So since we can't necessarily take all of our students to Hollywood, we are bringing the professionals from Hollywood to Hampton to work with our students.
So how did that start? Like, how did you get that connection and they're here working with our students?
Absolutely. So the Next Generation Storytellers company that we work with, they were started by Jacob Young, who is an Emmy Award winner, and Trent Garrett, who's been in lots of TV shows such as Disney's Andy Mack. Trent Garrett is actually a Hampton Roads native. His dad, Greg Garrett, does a lot of real estate around here, and we work with Mr. Garrett a lot with our academies. And so last year, Mr. Garrett was talking with Jennifer Oliver, who is, over our community relations, and was saying, my son just started this acting company to teach acting online. You should talk to him and see what you guys can come up with. Maybe, you can do a collaboration. And so Jen got to talking with Jacob and Trent, and through all of this, they come up with this idea of what if we were to teach our young people how to write scripts, how to act in them, how to produce them, and actually have an entire short film festival.
Oh, wow. So this began last year. So tell us about, really the different things that occurred last year.
Right. So it started in the summer. So they did some acting classes during the summer, and then
this past summer, or like summer of 2022?
Summer of 2022.
Okay,
Yep.
So we're talking 2 summers ago,
Right,
really.
Exactly.
Okay.
So summer of 2022, they did some online virtual acting classes, and then in the beginning of the school year, 2022, 2023, Trent and Jacob flew out here and they did a biz talks where they came and they actually talked to the students about making movies and then introduced the whole project to the students. And then from there, they started what they call the Movies 101 Crash Course, which is a 24-week online virtual program. They did it every Tuesday for, like I said, about the 24 weeks. And they taught the kids all about the ins and outs of the industry. And while doing that, they brought on a bunch of different mentors. So friends, directors, cinematographers, script writers, etc., would come and talk to the kids virtually and give them all the inside tips and tricks of the trade.
Well, that's amazing. So, when you say kids, our students, which students? Was it specific to an academy or was it all 4 high schools? Like, who participated in the biz talks and then this every Tuesday for, multiple weeks?
Right. It's all of our academy students who were eligible to join. And so they, of course, had to, say that they wanted to, and then there were a certain number of slots per school, but anyone from any academy, grades 9 through 12, was able to join.
So it was not just specifically Kickingham High School that has
Correct.
the On-Stage Performing Arts Academy.
Correct.
It was really open to any high school academy. Well, when I say academy student, all of our students are in academies.
Yes.
But it was open to any student from our 4 high schools.
Right. We felt that was really important.
Absolutely.
Because especially, the arts and acting, all students need to have access to that, even if ultimately they think they want to study something else. Mm-hmm. It's just that part that really enriches your life. And so we knew that all students needed to be able to be a part of this if they wanted to be.
So that was, again, last school year, the 22-23 school year, and they were doing these Tuesdays online.
Yep.
But then there was something else, because I remember a big showing at the Virginia Air and Space Science Center. So tell us about that.
Sure. So one of the things that we did to try to hype up support for the film festival, among other things, was to have our HCS gala at the Air and Space Center. And during that, we did some short films called The Time Code, and we had 4 students act in those. And we were really lucky to have Trent and Jacob work online with those students, but then Trent actually flew out for a day and was able to direct on set right here in Hampton City Schools. The videos for those. And so those kids came out with just an amazing experience. They felt like they were truly on a movie set with the bright lights and having to memorize all their materials and everything.
Well, and I had the opportunity to watch The Time Code, and they did an amazing job. To say that they just came right out of our high schools and put on that production, I mean, they looked like professionals. They really did.
Absolutely. And a lot of that came from those acting sessions. I mean, they all started off with amazing talent, but just to see what Trent and Jacob were able to do with them over the course of the 4 or 5 weeks that we met online, it was astounding.
But that's still different from the film festival. That was like in addition to kind of the icing on the cake. Tell us about the film festival. Like, how did the students get involved? What did that all entail?
Sure. So we had students submit scripts. So the way that we did it this past year was each school had a script that they would be working from and that they would then be filming. And so when it came time for the summer, we had shooting dates. Jacob and Trent flew out. They were here for about 3 weeks, and they brought with them professional movie crews. So many of them came from either the Atlanta area or the Richmond area, but these are people who legitimately work on movies and TV shows for a living. And then we took about those 3 weeks, we took about 3 or 4 days per school and actually shot their movies. So, and then we had student directors, students helping with the cinematography, students who were doing all the acting, etc.
Well, and it wasn't just, if I'm remembering correctly, you all were working on weekends. You were working like at 10 o'clock at night. You were out at Fort Monroe. I mean, you were everywhere, correct?
Yes, we were. I learned so much about what it's like to be on a movie set, which is that it's exhausting, number one. But yeah, for Fear the Fog, which was a horror movie, we shot it in the old hospital on Fort Monroe that it feels like it's been abandoned. And I mean, because it has in many ways. It's not a working hospital anymore. And so we were at like 10 o'clock at night, and it was legitimately creepy. But yeah, we were all over the place. We were at the beaches, we were at the hospital, we were in the schools, we were at the general's house on Fort Monroe, all kinds of places.
Well, I was going to say, I don't know if you've ever done the horror tours or whatever that's at Fort Monroe, but they take you to that hospital and they swear it's haunted.
I will say that Jen Oliver and I went and explored. We did not see any ghosts, so sorry.
You didn't see any ghosts?
No.
You might not have had the right equipment.
That's probably true.
So again, each of the 4 high schools created a short film, and I don't remember their names. There was Click and Click.
Click was Kickitan High School,
okay.
And that one is about a young teenager dealing with the loss of her father. We had Fear the Fog from Bethel High School, which was our horror film that takes place in the abandoned hospital. And then we had Truth of Lies from Phoebus High School, which is about a young girl named Mariah who learns a terrible secret about her past. And then our last one was Sandcastles from Hampton High School. And that one was really about friendship and what it means to grow and change and evolve in a friendship.
So short films, like 15 minutes or less each.
They were more about 10 minutes each.
Okay. And then, so they spent all summer working on this. Amazing. But then they got to debut these films. Tell us about the film festival.
Oh gosh, yeah. So the film festival took place the last weekend of September. It was in the American Theater in downtown Phoebus. And it was truly a red carpet experience. We had 4 different showings, and Friday night was our first showing. And so it was a premiere, and I tell you what, students, they brought it. They were all dressed up. I mean, we had tuxedos, we had prom dresses, we had everything that you can imagine. There was a red carpet. We did a step and repeat. Trent and Jacob were there. And the students just had an amazing time. And then Saturday night, I didn't realize we could get any more dressed up. But for Saturday night for the awards, it was even more so. And we had our documentarian there that day doing red carpet interviews with all the kids. And of course, then we gave away the awards as well.
What type of awards did you all give away?
So we had a lot of the usual. So, you know, we had the best actor. We had 2 best actor instead of best actor, best actress. We had best screenplay, best original screenplay, best film. So those usuals. But then we also had some such as like the best use of Hampton locations or the Young Voices Award, which was for the film that like came at filmmaking in a new way.
So who won the best film or the best picture?
Best picture ended up going to Click from Kecoughtan High School.
Excellent. So where can people see these films? Is that possible?
Eventually, yes. We cannot right now because we are currently doing the film festival circuit. Trent and Jacob are going out and trying to get them entered into various film festivals. And unfortunately, in order to be in the film festivals, you have to agree not to public distribution anywhere else. But as soon as we're done with those, then yes, we will definitely have them available.
Well, and the students just participated last weekend of October at the Virginia Film Festival in Charlottesville.
Yes, yes.
Tell us about that, because that had to be so exciting for them.
That was amazing. In partnership with the academies, we were able to take 20 of our students who had worked on the films to Charlottesville for the Virginia Film Festival that happened this weekend. And we were originally told they were only going to take the winner and be able to actually show it at the film festival. But then about a week beforehand, we got the news that they actually wanted to accept all 4 of our films.
That's amazing.
Into the film festival. And so our students got to go and they got to see the showing of their films in, you know, a real movie theater. I mean, the American theater is a real movie theater too, but this is the kind with, you know, the giant screen, Dolby surround sound, et cetera. And then afterwards, they were able to do a panel where people in the audience could ask them questions about their experiences.
Gosh, what an experience as a high school student.
Right.
What did you see from the kids? Like, how were they reacting?
They were so excited. And they just kept saying, like, this is unreal. This doesn't feel like I can't believe that I'm doing this. And that, you know, how crazy it was to see themselves up there on the real, you know, movie theater. And then afterwards, we were also able to go to another panel where they got to meet some mid-career industry professionals who were talking about how to make it in Hollywood. And the kids just had the most amazing questions for them.
Well, there's also something else amazing I heard about maybe some of our students.
There is, yes. I got a phone call last week from Trent Garrett saying that a casting agent who they work with frequently, he had sent all of the 4 short films, and she is actually interested in getting audition tapes from 10 of our students and potentially signing them professionally.
That's amazing. I mean, truly, I wish I could go back to high school and have that experience.
I keep thinking that. Where was this when I was in high school?
It was not there. It's not there in a lot of other high schools currently. Like, this is in Hampton City Schools, which is absolutely amazing for our students. I mean, 10 of our students could be casted professionally,
right,
just based off of this experience that they've received here in Hampton.
Absolutely. And Next Generation Storytellers is looking to expand the program, but they have said that as long as Hampton is in it, Hampton will always be the base camp, so to speak, so that, you know, even if they have regional film festivals in other places, Hampton will be the place for the Next Generation Storytellers Ultimate Film Festival. So everyone else would be coming here to Hampton where it all started.
So does that mean we're kind of doing a repeat now this year of everything you just told us about?
Yep, that's exactly right. So we broke it up a little bit differently this year. We're starting with 9 weeks of Screenwriting 101 first, so that we can really get into depth on how do you write a screenplay, and, you know, the pieces of writing and the planning process and the editing process, et cetera. And we're halfway through that. And then starting in December, that's when we'll start our Movies 101 course, which will also cover a little bit of screenwriting, but not nearly to the depth that we're doing it in the Screenwriting 101. Starting in February, we will know what our scripts are. We're going to have a script writing competition, so we'll choose our 4 scripts. We are not doing them by high school this year, so we're instead just going to choose the 4 best regardless, and then everybody from every high school will have an opportunity to audition for any of the films that they find interesting, or that there's a part that they think that they could fit. And then we will start rehearsals in March, and we're going to start shooting again in June.
And then a film festival next fall,
And then a
all of
film
2024.
Yep.
So that's really interesting, though. I love how, because we always say, with our 16 wall-to-wall academies and our 44 pathways, like, our students can go to any high school. It doesn't have to be your own school. And then we've got several projects like the floating classroom, where we're bringing students in from all 4 high schools and different academies to work on that. So, our students, even though they may go to Hampton High or Phoebus, any of the 4 high schools, they do really work collaboratively together, which is another thing that's very unique, I think, with Hampton City Schools. So I love how you just said you're going to pick the 4 best films this year, may not all each come from a different high school, but that students can audition for any of the films. So let's say one from Phoebus wins, a Kickotan student could audition for that film. So really, they're going to be working so collaboratively together.
Yep, absolutely. And because, that's the nature of scripts, right? You might get a script that only has 2 female lead characters.
Right.
So if you're a boy who goes to that school, you really don't necessarily have a chance to participate. But this way, we can open it up to everyone within Hampton City Schools, and they should hopefully be able to find a part that, if they're interested, that they could play.
So my last question is, how do students know about this opportunity? And when do they know? How do they apply? When do they know to apply? Because I wouldn't want to miss it.
Right. So for the Movies 101 part that we're going to be starting, we are going to be doing a giant ad campaign starting in about the next week, where we will post in Parent Square. We'll push that out to every single high schooler so that they can see it. We will send emails directly to the students. We put posters up around the school, letting them know with QR codes so they can scan and they can sign up. And then we also work through either drama teachers or English teachers to let the students know that way as well.
So it's all an application process. They have to apply,
yes.
Correct? So that's for the movies, but then do they also, then they'll apply to be auditions for these scripts. So there's multiple different opportunities. Doesn't mean you have to do all of them, but
Correct.
You can if you want, correct?
Exactly. So we currently have 16 students in our script writing 101 class because we wanted to be able to give really detailed feedback, and you just can't read but so many scripts and be able to give a lot of feedback each week. But we are going to open it up even more with Movies 101, so we'll have 15 per school who can join, so that's up to 60 total. We told that, if you're in script writing 101, then you get first shot at it. But that doesn't mean that they have to go on and do Movies 101, or that we can't have other people come in as well. And
you may not want to. They may really have liked just the screenwriting piece, right?
Exactly.
And not want to do the movie. So there's opportunities for different students, or, if I'm really, really excited about it, I could try out for every single piece of this.
Absolutely, you sure can.
So next fall, 2024, we don't have a date yet, correct? But we
do not yet have a date. We're looking at some. We want to get it on the calendar nice and early, but we do not have one at this time.
So and it will be open to the general public like it was this past year. People just need to look for it and really reserve those tickets ahead of time, because it's an amazing experience.
Absolutely.
Well, again, I wish I was in high school all over again, because that just sounds amazing for our young people. Can't wait to see this year the films that come out, and can't wait to see the 4 and be able to share that with the public for the ones that were just done.
Absolutely. I don't yet know which scripts are going to get chosen, but I will say, just from the ideas that I've heard so far in our Screenwriting 101, there's going to be some amazing short films this year.
Well, thank you so much for being here and just really sharing, how this began back in the summer of 2022, where we are now, and what we get to look forward to for this school year and next fall of 2024. So thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for joining us on HCS Connects. Remember, it's easy to stay connected.